I was sitting at my desk on an ordinary Wednesday afternoon, halfway through debugging a particularly annoying piece of code when my phone buzzed. The message from Brittany, my fiancée, popped up on the screen. I read it once, then twice, then a third time, certain I had misunderstood. I just listed your Mustang on Facebook Marketplace for $5,000. Someone's coming to pick it up in an hour. We really need this money for my bachelorette party in Vegas. My chest tightened. The words blurred together as I stared at the screen. For a moment I thought maybe she was joking, but the tone was matter-of-fact, like she had just told me what she wanted for dinner. This was not a joke. Something was not just wrong. This was theft. Before we dive into what happened next, I would love to know where you are watching from. Drop your city in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe if you want to hear how I handled someone trying to steal my most prized possession. Because what I did next changed everything. Let me back up and give you some context about Brittany and me. We had been together for 2.5 years. We met through a dating app, one of those swipe-right situations that actually seemed to work out. Our first date was at this Italian restaurant downtown, the kind with checkered tablecloths and candles in wine bottles. She was charming that night. She laughed at my jokes, asked about my work as a software engineer at a tech startup, and seemed genuinely interested in who I was as a person. 6 months ago, I proposed. We planned the wedding for October. 4 months ago, she moved into my apartment, the one-bedroom place I had been renting for 3 years in a quiet neighborhood just outside the city. But looking back now, there were signs. Red flags I chose to ignore because I wanted to believe in us. Brittany did not have what you would call a stable job. She freelanced as a social media manager, which sounded legitimate enough, except she rarely seemed to have clients. Most days she was home, scrolling through Instagram, online shopping, or meeting friends for brunch at places that charged $18 for avocado toast. Designer bags started appearing in our closet. Expensive shoes. When I asked her how she afforded all this, she would wave me off and say something vague about a good month or a generous client. But the math never added up. Then came the conversations about money, or rather the arguments. She had this way of framing things that made me feel like I was being unreasonable. "We are getting married," she would say. "What is yours is mine, right? That is how marriage works." Technically, sure, but we were not married yet. And even if we were, partnerships are supposed to be about mutual respect and shared decision-making, not one person unilaterally deciding to drain the other's bank account. 2 weeks before the car incident, Brittany dropped a bomb on me. She wanted me to pay for her entire bachelorette party. Not just chip in, not split it with her bridesmaids. She wanted me to cover the whole thing. We are talking about a trip to Vegas, a suite at the Cosmopolitan, spa treatments, bottle service at clubs. She had it all planned out down to the matching satin robes with bride tribe embroidered on the back. The estimated cost, $12,000. I told her no. Not because I did not want her to have fun, but because $12,000 for a single weekend was not reasonable. I suggested something more moderate. Maybe a weekend at a bed and breakfast, a spa day closer to home. She did not take it well. She gave me the silent treatment for 3 days, sleeping on the couch, refusing to make eye contact. When she finally spoke to me again, she said she forgave me, but I could tell she had not let it go. She kept bringing up the party in passive-aggressive ways. I guess I will just have to tell my friends we are doing something cheap. Everyone else's fiancé is paying for their party, but whatever. Now about the car. My 2019 Ford Mustang GT. Competition orange with black racing stripes. It was not just a car to me. It was a dream I had worked years to achieve. When I was a kid, my dad had a 1967 Mustang. Classic. Beautiful. I have this memory of sitting in the passenger seat, the leather warm under my legs, the engine rumbling like thunder. He sold it when I was 10 because we needed the money. I remember the day it drove away. I cried. My dad put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Someday you will have one of your own." 2 years ago, after I got promoted, I finally had enough saved up. I walked into that dealership and saw her sitting there under the fluorescent lights, and I knew. I took out a loan, made payments every single month, and just last month I paid it off completely. The title was in my name. Solely my name. Brittany knew what that car meant to me. I had told her the story about my dad. She had seen me wash it every Sunday, wax it until it gleamed. She knew. So when I read that text message sitting at my desk with my heart pounding in my ears, I felt something shift inside me. This was not just about a car. This was about respect. This was about boundaries. This was about her thinking she could do whatever she wanted with my life, my belongings, my hard-earned property, and I would just go along with it. I called her immediately. My hands were shaking as I pressed her name on the screen. She answered on the second ring, her voice light and casual. "Oh, hey babe, did you see my message? What do you mean you listed my car?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Well, you said we could not afford my party, so I found a solution. 5,000 should cover most of it." Her tone was the same as if she were discussing what to have for dinner. No guilt, no hesitation. Just simple, straightforward theft presented as problem-solving. "That car is worth almost $40,000, I said. "And it is mine. You cannot just sell it." "Do not be dramatic," she replied. "It is just a car. We are about to be married anyway. Honestly, I thought you would be proud of me for being resourceful." Resourceful. That word echoed in my head. Stealing from your partner and calling it resourceful. I felt a surge of rage mixed with disbelief. "I am coming home right now," I said. "Well, hurry," she said. "The buyer comes at 6. I looked at the clock on my computer screen. 4:47 p.m. I had just over an hour. I did not immediately pack up and leave the office. Instead, I sat there for a moment, staring at my screen, trying to process what was happening. Then I opened my laptop and logged into Facebook. I searched the marketplace and found the listing within seconds. There it was. My Mustang. The photos were taken from Brittany's phone angles I recognized from when she had asked to take pictures of it a few weeks ago. At the time, I thought she just liked the car. Now I realized she had been planning this. The description read, "Moving sale, beautiful 2019 Mustang GT, barely driven, must sell today, first come, first serve." The price was listed at $5,000. Already there were 23 messages and a string of comments from people saying things like, "Is this for real?" and "Too good to be true." One user had claimed it. "I will take it, can pick up at 6 p.m. today with cash." Brittany had replied, "Perfect, see you then," and included our address. I felt nauseous. This was real. She was really going to go through with this. Some stranger was going to show up at our apartment with $5,000 in cash, expecting to drive away with a car worth nearly $40,000. And Brittany would hand over the keys like she had any right to. I leaned back in my chair and let myself think. Really think. This was not an isolated incident. 3 months ago, Brittany had borrowed my credit card to book a spa day. She charged $800 and promised she would pay me back. She never did. When I brought it up, she said I was being petty. 2 months ago, she took my Apple Watch. She said she needed it for a photo shoot for a client. A week later, I found the pawn ticket in her purse. When I confronted her, she said she needed the money for an emergency. Her best friend was sick and needed help with medical bills. Except I ran into that same friend at the grocery store a week later and she looked perfectly healthy. When I asked Brittany about it, she admitted she had used the money for concert tickets. "I did not think you would understand," she said. Last month, she pressured me to upgrade her engagement ring. The one I had given her cost $4,000. It was beautiful, a round, cut diamond on a white gold band. But according to Brittany, it was embarrassing. Her friends all had bigger rings. She wanted something that cost at least $15,000. When I said no, she pouted for days. I thought about my friends. Jake had warned me. "Dude, she is using you," he had said over beers one night. "You do not see it because you are in love, but the rest of us do." I had defended her, made excuses, said he did not understand our relationship. But sitting there in my office, staring at that Facebook listing, I could not defend her anymore. The pattern was clear. Brittany did not see me as a partner. She saw me as an ATM. Every interaction, every conversation revolved around money and material things. She never asked about my dreams, my feelings, my day. She only cared about what I could give her. The wedding plans were the same. She wanted a venue that cost $50,000. I suggested something more reasonable, around $20,000. She argued with me for weeks, saying I was trying to ruin her special day. Everything was about appearances, about impressing people, about having the biggest, flashiest, most Instagram-worthy everything. I felt something shift inside me. It was not sadness anymore. It was not even anger. It was clarity. Cold, sharp clarity. If I let this go, if I accepted this behavior, what would our marriage look like? Would she sell my belongings every time she wanted money? Would there ever be boundaries? Would there ever be respect? No. I was done. I opened a new tab and Googled someone selling my property without permission.